Yo, 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 it's your boy Isaac Anzu back again with the brand new invention, the lyrical, clerical, chimerical VTuber on the spot, in the rock, on the pot. Everybody's smoking dope and reading jokes and slinging ropes and fighting popes. Why are you fighting the Pope? Wait. Hello. I'm back again. Isaac Anzu, the best boss you've never had. And we're here with some chill jams in the background right now. How chill are these jams? So chill. Just hanging out at the water cooler. Boy, howdy though. Am I tired? I had one of those days where, you actually get a lot of shit done, but you can't have too many of those days. It just wipes you out. Incredible. Yeah, my workplace found out there were some discrepancies in the books, so I had to investigate them. That's honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the job is like problem solving, investigating, detective work, that sort of thing, right? Like who doesn't love that? You want a job that challenges you mentally. But not too much, of course. That said, like, it takes a lot out of you. Hopefully today will be less stressful. Whew. Well, we're starting off streaming. That's a good start. But after stream, I usually eat breakfast. And I have to say, I was so busy yesterday that I made a little bit of a mistake. So, do you know the proper way to boil eggs? Eggs, they're delicious. I had some eggs for dinner last night. It was delicious. But, hi, Nico. Got the first. Hell yeah. Also love the Lechonk emote. It's cool that they made Lechonk a Twitch staple. Do you know how to boil eggs? Do you know how to do it? What you do is you put the eggs in the cold water. Make sure they're slightly covered by the cold water. You put it on the stove. You let it boil. And once it's boiling, you put a lid on the pot and then you turn off the heat. And you leave it on there for however long you want the eggs to cook. So I like to leave it on there for 6 minutes because that gives me a nice soft boiled style. However, I was so busy yesterday that I left it on for an hour. So my eggs are going to be very firm. Very, very firm. But they're a casualty of me getting a lot done and forgetting about the eggs. At least when I made dinner, I put a timer on. I remember to do that. I'm not usually a guy who cooks with a timer. Like I'm very much a do it by feel, do it by ear, do it by sight sort of cook, right? Instructions are for beginners. You gotta feel when things are done, right? They are in fact hard boiled. They are very hard boiled. It's going to be like eating an eraser. But I'm gonna eat them because I don't know if I've ever really talked about this, but my family did not have a lot of money when I was growing up. And we learned pretty quickly that you don't waste food. If you only order what you're going to eat, right? That was the thing. And I think that there are better ways to not waste food, like keeping things as leftovers and such like that. Um, but I still have that sort of mentality, and it's hard for me to feel full unless my plate is also empty. And I often end up overeating. That's like it's like a problem. It's one of those problems that I have. Whatever. Hard eggs tomorrow. Uh, it'll be like eating airheads, stretchy and yep. If I shake the eggs really hard, will all the yolk go to one side and then? Does anyone even know what I'm talking about? Hello there, good chimera sir. Hello, pirates. Right. Let me ask you this: do you know what an airhead is? An airhead. Airhead is a type of candy. Airheads candy. You know what these are? Let me pull up a picture. Picture. Airheads. Look at them. Wait, are they getting discontinued? Usually someone who isn't out there makes a lot of dumb choices. That is the joke. The joke is that, this is a candy for airheads. But the proper way to eat an airhead, if you didn't know, proper way. So they come in these tube, like these little sealed plastic tubes, and it's essentially a taffy candy, right? So it's kind of like soft, chewy, fruity sort of candy. It gets a weird texture that I love. It. Yeah, it's a great texture. It's very unique. It's like gritty taffy, and I know that doesn't sound good, but it is actually good. The proper way to eat an airhead, though, is to take that little plastic wrapper and shake it like a Polaroid picture. Shake, 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 shake it. And as you do, the airhead inside, the taffy inside, will slowly like compress towards the outer end of the wrapper. And you just keep shaking it harder and harder. And then eventually you have a pillow of airhead all at one side, and you can just take a big old chomp out of it. That's the best.
Is that how you were supposed to do it?
That's how you're supposed to do it. Let me see if I can find a video. The proper Irish people taste test airheads candy. I can't be the only one. See, this is what I'm talking about. So yes, you don't just eat it. Don't just eat it. Never just eat it. Shake it. See, look at this guy. He can't be the only one. He's not the only one. Sounds like a really bad corn film. We are left with this. Yes, it moved all the way down here. And then you open it.
Oh my God.
And you get a little pillow
What?
of airhead.
What?
And it's so much more satisfying to bite into.
What?
He likes it a little thicker. Look at all these TikTok hoes.
Hey. Be nice.
How old am I that there are people who didn't know about doing this?
I grew up with these and I didn't know about this.
What the heck? Yes, the airbags and the recommended look pretty good too. Yes, it's Lumi. She's here getting ready for work. Nico says hi.
To learn something new about airheads.
Yes, it's 7:15 in the morning and she's having to learn something new about airheads. What a disaster life. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad you could join. How's the music levels? It was a little loud the other day, I think. We are, as usual, trying to spend a little bit more time. Oh, good. Sounds good. Just trying to spend a little bit more time on the just chatting screen because I don't know why. Maybe it's to like build rapport before I get into it. So today we're gonna do Unreal Engine, which is gonna be like another tutorial stream. I was actually thinking it's probably going to be 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 part tutorial. It's an hour-long tutorial, and the last time I did an hour-long tutorial, it took me like three streams to get through. Because it's not just tutorializing; it's getting distracted from tutorials as well. But I was thinking about, since we're doing Wednesday and Sunday Elden Ring, which I love. I want to catch up on Elden Ring, especially if we can get Elden Ring done before the DLC drops, which we will not do. That'd be cool. But we're going to get every single boss. Every single boss. Distractions be like that. I know. I know. But I was thinking, once a month, instead of doing a tutorial stream on this Thursday, Friday slot, we could do a music stream again. A music stream. Can you imagine? So I was thinking about putting a poll up and seeing what type of music people want me to do, because we could do like, so my good friend Augie, who is wonderful. I'm going to shout out to Augie. Shout. I forgot that I can shout out people. Augie draws. So she does drawing stream every month, once a month drawing stream, and she does a poll in her Discord to ask people like, hey, what do you want me to draw? Oh, almighty Sir Isaac, the contemplator of stream types, maker of polls, arbiter of music, master shouter outer. Hello, Dylan. Good to see you. Still not happy with the DLC pricing. I think they're gouging us personally, mainly because it's a lot cheaper if you buy the game with the DLC. So those of us with the DLC are left paying the price of, well, Helldivers 2, for example. Yeah, it is. So my thought on the DLC price is this. If it was any other game, any other studio, I would be inclined to say, yes, absolutely, they are price gouging. With Elden Ring and FromSoft specifically, it's like, it's already a good game, and we know from experience that the DLC is often the best part of these FromSoft games.
How much is the DLC?
They're saying it might be like $75. Yeah,
Holy shit.
it's basically buying another game.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's FromSoft.
it's FromSoft. It's FromSoft. The best part of the DLC is FromSoft. So you have to take that into account. And like, it's also been 2 years since Elden Ring came out, right? I'm sure Elden Ring did gangbusters, but FromSoft is one of those studios that I feel like I want to support, right? If they said From is not getting any softer, that's true. If they said like the DLC is $30, but then there's another thing that you can buy, like an add-on that's $45, I would probably buy the $45 add-on because the studio is really good, right? The same thing is true with Ghost Ship Games and Deep Rock Galactic. I bought the. I never buy skins, but I bought the armor sets, the skins in that game because the game is so good and the studio is doing such a good job. I want to support them. Also with Baldur's Gate 3, Larian Studios, we bought another copy of the game so that my wife could play it on her own account. And I was okay with that because Larian Studios is doing really good work, right? Sir Isaac is all in supporting From Software. He's gifting us all the DLC, all platforms. Yes, yes. My inheritance money will go towards making sure all my friends and I can play FromSoft's Elden Ring DLC together forever. Actually, Dolu, you're doing the co-op mod on your console, right? Or are you doing it on PC? Could we get Pyrite Sprite in on this co-op? I don't know. Maybe. I just want to hang out with people and play video games. What was I talking about before? Oh yeah, shouting out Augie, my friend Augie. PC mods don't work on PlayStation. Okay, right. That makes sense. Yeah, I remember back in the day, I would watch these hilarious videos of people modding Skyrim. And I was like, that seems so cool. I've played Skyrim so much, I want to play Skyrim modded. But I had it on Xbox. And you know the rest. Sadly, I can't join you on your PC. That is sad. Well, listen, someday when this PC explodes and I have to cut down to just using it for OBS and I can't do anything else and we get to save up for a PlayStation, I'll join you. Ha 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 ha. Take that. Although, you know, the news with Helldivers, Helldivers needing the PlayStation membership and then Sony backing down, like, you can always watch popcorn. Popcorn. What? I can't always watch popcorn. What's popcorn? What? Yeah, I don't know. Like with Microsoft trying to buy Steam and putting AI and everything, and then Sony never mind. It's one of those shower moments. Okay. I see. Shower thoughts. And then Sony being a jerk about their gaming platforms and you understand. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna ask. It feels like there's not a good and then of course Nintendo has always been very like weird about their platforms and content and stuff like that. I live in the gutters always say, oh, I see. You can always watch popcorn. I understand now. That's true. That's true. I do love a good buttery popcorn. I do love a nice, tasty, oily, cheesy, uh, hot, freshly made popcorn. Did you know that in Germany, or maybe this is a Europe thing, when I went to the movie, when I went to the movie theater, I said, I would like a popcorn, please. And they're like, salty or sweet? What? What? I've heard of salty popcorn. Of course, everybody knows you put salt on popcorn. But sweet popcorn, they just put sugar on it instead. I'd never seen it in my life. I was shocked. Shocked, I say. I've heard of putting like caramel on popcorn or chocolate drizzle on popcorn or like mixing it in with peanuts and stuff like that. Like there is sweet popcorn in the US, but not just plain popcorn with sugar on it. What the hell is that? Caramel popcorn, though. It's true. Caramel popcorn is good. Caramel and fruit flavor. Interesting. You know, can I pull this up here? Maybe. I hear them flat screen mirrors have the best shows on. Let me see if I can find this. I was reading a manga the other day. Yeah, here we go. I was reading a manga the other day. And look, this is a representation of what flavors of popcorn they have in Japan. They have caramel, salty, milk chocolate, soy sauce butter, matcha white chocolate, curry, black pepper, milk tea, honey, pistachio. Actually, that sounds amazing. Strawberry millefeuille. That's a French word. I can't pronounce it. Salted caramel, cheddar cheese. Found out yesterday the manga are read backwards. They are. Because Japanese, like traditional Japanese, is read backwards, which is interesting, right? And it's to do with the direction of the writing, right? For a right-handed person in English, you would write left to right so that you can lay your hand on the paper and not scuff up the thing, right? But in Japanese, you write top to bottom. So it doesn't matter which direction you write. And somewhere along the line, they decided to do right to left instead. Kind of wild. What was I talking about? Right. I think I'm going to do a poll somewhere that will help me figure out what sort of music I want to write. And I think next week is going to be a music. Next week is going to be a music writing stream instead of these lesson streams. That said, today is a lesson stream. Today, we're learning Unreal Engine. So let's get to it. And I have this tutorial here. In my later years, I will open a business to manufacture mythological objects like leather manuscript books. Empty, of course. Have you seen like the bookbinding videos on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, wherever you find them, people do some absolutely wonderful leather bookbinding, like hobbyist bookbinding. It's kind of crazy. All right, I've opened up Unreal Engine. Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen those, you should definitely check them out. They're cool. BRB shower, all good. Welcome to Unreal Engine. So apparently you move forward by moving your mouse forward. I long for the day. I pine for the day when every 3D every 3D software, every software with like a timeline standardizes the key controls to utilize it. Try the magic Alt F4 shortcut. It's an AI that reads your mind and just creates it. Incredible. No. I've been around the internet a little longer than that, Dolu. All right. Shall we check out the world's most open and advanced real-time 3D creation tool?
Under 60 minutes, you're going to learn enough Unreal Engine to make a short film. You're going to go from 0 to understanding how to get around in the interface, how to bring in an environment, how to grab some actors and some animation and assemble them together, add some cameras to block out your shots, even animate some light values, then render it all out to create your short film. So let's get started. First, you'll need to go to unrealengine.com, sign up for an account, download the software, and you'll be ready to go. If you open your launcher, you want to go to the Unreal Engine tab. You'll see there's a few tabs across.
Unreal Engine, hello. What's this? Unreal? Sick. I dabble there sometimes, but right now I'm in Godot. Godot is a programming platform, right? It's a game engine, open source game engine. Hell yeah, we love that. Godot is an open source game engine. Hell yeah. Very lightweight, but doesn't come with bells and whistles Unreal has. I think, that said, I can drag and drop blend files right into it and use it. That's nice. See, I feel like, what's the guy's name? Musashi Miyamoto. Yeah, Musashi Miyamoto. He's a guy who wandered around dueling people, right? Generally considered like one of the best swordsmen of all time, right? And he beat up people with whatever he could find. Didn't have a sword, he used an oar. He used like a boat paddle. And so I feel like the answer is, if you can get good without all the bells and whistles, then you're like, you can still become a master even if you don't use the most advanced tools, right? Which is why I like to use things like GIMP and Shotcut and MuseScore and Blender, right? I think Blender is one of the best tools, but it's also like free. GIMP is okay. Krita is more my jam, and I think that it's good that there's difference. Blender is my everything. I have to say, Blender is like the slickest open source software I've ever used. It is crazy good, and I think MuseScore has really improved in the last few years, but Blender is still like, oh damn, so far ahead of it. Use Blender for more things than anything else. So if Blender is the baseline, we're going to. Oh. Interesting. Ooh. Look, you can see below the ground. Blender skyrocketed in the last couple of years for sure. Good thing too. I mean, I feel like all software has been getting like crazy good recently, right? All the software that has this kind of like open source mentality or stuff like that, like something happened. Maybe they I don't even know. They made a cool thing. They made a cool software upgrade thing. But I just feel like software has been getting so good recently. You can pretty much just do whatever with it. It's actually getting to the point where so I have Ableton Live is my music creation software of choice. It's getting to the point where Ableton feels like it's falling a bit behind, which is crazy to me. I guess it's because I am only on Ableton Live 10. Maybe Ableton Live 11 will address those problems because that's what everybody seems to be using. Everything is more accessible than it has ever been. It's true. And I especially think that's true for the open source stuff because a lot of these. So I talk about this with one of my friends who does 3D. A lot of the older 3D softwares like Maya and stuff like that, they kind of have their established ways of doing things, and they are refusing to change them. Maya won't grow. Exactly. Blender is willing to risk change. Precisely. There's actually this debate going on in D&D right now, in Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is saying, Maya is the industry standard, get used to it. No, thank you. Don't accept shitty standards. Dungeons and Dragons is a standard, right? But more and more people are seeing how a system designed for a very specific style of game in the 70s isn't really matching up to the things that people want to do with role-playing games in 2024. I can't get people to play GURPS with me. Yeah, GURPS is a tough one. I would play GURPS, but I would also have to get obsessed with GURPS in order to play GURPS. You need GURPS fanatics. Lasers and Feelings is great. You should play that one-page RPG. I did play that, actually. I had a group that played Lasers and Feelings for a couple sessions. It was really fun. But that's the thing, right? There is a type of person who is interested in level advancement, who is interested in dungeon crawling, who is interested in, you know, combat and monster slaying. And Dungeons and Dragons is an amazing system for that type of person. But it's not for everyone. I have a friend who's always talking about how GURPS being better than D&D. It's not better, it's different. It is different. It's a different take on it. I would also say it's not necessarily better. But if you're into GURPS, you are into GURPS. Generic universal role-playing system. Change it to D12s because with D6s you get laser feelings too often. GURPS say, we know these rules, grab any rule book from any of this system and we can make it work. So, and that's the thing, right? We can compare it to 3D, right? With 3D animation in the 90s, there was a specific style of 3D animation that made it big, got popular, like Code Lyoko or Jimmy Neutron, right? You have this style and it becomes the standard, and people are inclined to go along with that standard, right? But it turns out that if you just go try to improve that standard, right? If you just kind of stick to what the standard is and try to improve it, eventually you'll hit a wall. And in 3D, the wall is the uncanny valley, right? And so you have to kind of reevaluate, like, what are we doing with 3D? Right. Let me catch up on chat. Feels a little bit more grounded without being too realistic. True. Traveler was great for things. You don't have hit points, your damage is your physical stat damage, so you take physical stat damage. Your ability reduces during combat. Traveler is good. Traveler is actually better than D&D. I built some core systems of my own as well, interesting ones, mostly for one-shot style games. I've heard of Traveler, and I don't mind the stat damage mechanics. I think I played with systems like that as well. But again, it's about resource management, right? There's a game element that is resource management, whether it's your stats or your hit points or your actions per round or whatever. My favorite thing was for one-shot games, was to like take a board game mechanic and use it as the basis for a game. Traveler's character building is interesting. The further you go to build the character, the higher risk of death during character building, because it means they lived a life already kind of wild. That is cool. It's like character building is such an interesting part of the game. It's cool when people try different things with it. Particularly, I enjoy Dungeon Crawl Classics character design, character creation. You basically make a bunch of randomly generated peasants and then send them into a dungeon, and whoever survives gets to be your character. I like that a lot. But also I like, Dark Souls. So that sounds fun. Honestly, it is super fun. And those level 0 sessions are almost like their own entire game, which can be more fun than the rest of the game. Like, sending a bunch of level 0 peasants into a dungeon is a cool and wild experience that even like dungeon crawling doesn't kind of like vibe with, right? Because you're not really dungeon crawling, you are surviving. You are watching your friends get mowed down by like the weakest enemies. That's not like traditional dungeon crawling at all. Anyway, I'm interested in seeing. So Matt Colville and Critical Role and Dimension 20 and everybody have all been putting out challengers to D&D. Right? They're saying we are accepting that D&D as a system is entrenched in ideas that are no longer viable. And we're going to put out systems of our own that do our own thing. And Matt Colville's is particularly interesting. I watched his Kickstarter video. He is going for more of the like epic storytelling fantasy where the mechanics are all about actually getting stronger over the course of the fight. Like, as the fight reaches its climax, your character becomes more powerful in order to match the climactic moments, right? Genesis, the one from Fantasy Flight Games. Genesis is definitely one. I think the Critical Role one. Critical Role RPG system. Daggerheart. Daggerheart is the name of the is that what it? Yeah. That article is quite old. But yeah, they're releasing a system called Daggerheart. Oh, and I'm willing to try it, but I worry that it may be too hyped due to the crew behind it. Well, that's the thing, right? Nobody plays D&D first edition unless you're like a hardcore old school extremist, right? I'm interested in these systems. I'm interested in them doing revisions to the systems, right? Never play Chainmail. Play AD&D second edition, best edition hands down. I've if you like AD&D second edition, you'll probably like Dungeon Crawl Classics. I'm told they're very similar. I'm actually reading through the 3.5 monster manual right now to just get a feel for the game and see how it works. I've also heard that 3.5 is the best edition. You know, I haven't heard any long-term gamer say that 5th edition is the best edition. I've heard a lot of people like 5th edition, but anybody who's played games for a long time, I've never heard them say it's the best one. It's the best intro for new D&D players. I've heard I heard someone describe it as the best game for watching someone else play. Because it's easy to follow, right? But honestly, like one of the things that I was shocked. So I'm very much a 5th edition player. That's the only D&D version I've played. I've played other role-playing games outside of D&D, but 5th edition is the only one that I've really sunk my teeth into. When I started reading the 3.5 books, let me tell you, I was flabbergasted. I was sit on my ass by how much world building there is in the player's handbook. And like, I needed that. I wanted that. right? I, you know, the fucking fifth edition handbook is like, hey, here's a dwarf. You know what a dwarf is? Like Lord of the Rings, dwarf. Eat rocks, mine rocks. You like jewels. You're short, you grow a beard. Very good. But then 3.5 is like, here's some dwarven sayings. Oh, here's how dwarves feel about the other races. Oh, here's some dwarven heroes. Here's a cool, like, here's how gnomes see dwarves. Here's how orcs see dwarves. Here's how dwarves see giants. Oh, you can fight giants really well. Oh yeah, that's because you live in the mountains together, right? And why was that not in fifth edition? Like, I understand that fifth edition was trying to be a little bit more like universal, but it's so much harder to get into a character when you have nothing to go on, right? I'm a dwarf. All you're doing is like, or I had a guy in my very first fifth edition game who was like, I want to be an elf. Okay, what kind of elf do you want to be? I want to be Legolas. Okay, you get to be Legolas. You're just gonna play Legolas? You're just gonna be Legolas? That's all what you're gonna do? You're gonna be Archer Boy? Yes. That's all he wants to do. Be Legolas. And you know, fifth edition allows for that. And I couldn't say no. And now then Lord of the Rings elves were in my game, right? But in 3.5, it's like, oh my God, elves actually have an identity. You want to be an elf? You can read about the elves. You can get kind of like get inspired and pretend to be like, you know, your own character and not just try to be like, cool, I shoot like in the movie. D20 Modern was also my jam. It was more 3.0 rules, but built around urban arcana stuff. Lots of setting books for future tech, space apocalypse. Some historical books, like Imagine World War II, but with dragons. That honestly sounds awful. 3.5 races were way better than 5th edition, but that's because the stats in 50 were strictly limited to 20 for all stats without magic items. Yeah. Like, you can pump your stats up to insane amounts in 3.5. Because halflings weren't special because the halfling could be just as strong. Yeah, and you know, I think that there are some variant rules in 5th edition that really nail how I would want a race stat relationship to be, right? Halfling barbarian is a, you know, it's a meme, right? If you're a halfling barbarian, you're never going to be as strong as the half orc barbarian, right? You can do it, but you have to accept that you're always you're making a character choice, right? But in 5th edition, it was just like, no, you're not making a character choice. You could be a halfling barbarian. Just go for it, right? Put all those points to strength. You'll get to 20 strength just like the half orc, probably even by the same level, right? Most characters get 20 in a stat at 8th level. Second edition was that way too, but even more restricted in a way that really gave races their identity down to class restrictions by race. Yeah, and even in 3.5, races have favored classes, right? Race class restrictions are important to world building and storytelling. Otherwise, everyone is just human with this unique eyesight. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, and I think that it's important to recognize that from a storytelling perspective, from a meta narrative perspective, like the story of a dwarf is the story of a human that is more reclusive, more greedy, more like clan oriented than a human, right? Is all human stories are about humans, right? Dwarves are just like, what would happen if human society followed these rules instead of human society rules? But the thing is, in the fantasy world, you have to follow those rules. You can't just be like, "Oh, I'm a dwarf, but I'm not greedy," right? You have to pretend to be in a society that values greed, right? Values treasure, values like skill at smithing, right? And if you don't pretend to be like that, then why be a dwarf? That's another reason why I always tell new players to start as humans, right? Basically, your first character should be you wearing a hat. You wearing a bard hat, or you wearing a wizard hat, or you wearing a fighter hat, right? It's just you, but I'm asking you, what would you do if you were a fighter, if you were in this magical world and you were a wizard? I prefer to just play humans in 5e anyway. Variant human is the best phrase choice. It is, truly. I don't know if you pegged this on me, but my favorite thing to play in D&D is just buff punchy boys. And variant human is perfect because no matter what class you start as, you can take a feat that'll make up for your lack of hit points or lack of attack or lack of whatever. And you can be a buff punchy boy. My favorite buff punchy boy was my buff punchy wizard, Rick Flexington, a wizard. I'm 35 seconds into this tutorial and we're an hour into stream. Sounds about right.
The top here, generally, you're going to go to the library if you want to manage what version you have. I think if you just downloaded 5.3 should be the default. If you need to add other versions, you can click here to add other versions. But generally, I just go right up here and launch from this top corner at the beginning. You don't need to come to this versions tab. It's just showing you what's there.
Oh my God, look at his desktop.
And your Unreal Project browser is going to pop up. Files. This is your previous recent projects, but I'm going to go and start a new one. We're going to go with the games template because some of the default settings make it a little easier on our computers for this learning process. So go with blank.
Oh, okay. So file, new project, games blank. I think that is what I'm doing. Clean empty project with no code. Okay,
and cool. Down here in these defaults, make sure you check this box starter content and go ahead and give it a name.
Oh, I didn't check the box starter content. The box starter content is already checked.
Name.
Wow.
Let's just call it short. And that'll create your project. If you have these pop-ups, you can just close them, dismiss, or...
Oh, they changed the default thing. There's no longer a chair
Say
there.
not now is fine. Now, when your project launches, it's going to look a little bit different than what I have set up. So let me reverse what I've done, and then I'll show you how to build back this so that we have these windows that are a little more common and useful when you're learning. I'm going to close right here where it says Content Browser, and I'm going to close where it says Place Actors. And this is what you should see when you first open your project.
Whoa.
Before we add back those tabs, let's just talk about how to navigate around here in your viewport. First thing we want to talk about is what you can do with just the left mouse. So the left mouse, if you click and push up on the mouse or pull back on the mouse, or as you're pushing forward, you kind of veer to the right and veer to the left. So this, just take a second and kind of move around. This lets you drive around the scene. staying at more or less the same height, but you're just kind of walking forward, walking backwards, and then you can just kind of navigate around here with the left mouse.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody's nauseous. Sorry about that. Then next is middle mouse all by itself. Now, middle mouse, if you click and drag, you'll say, well, I get the idea that it's panning, but it's a little bit opposite of what I'm used to from my other software. So that is a quick fix, and you're going to usually want to change that right away. So go up to Edit, Editor Preferences, and up in the search here, just type middle. It's easier to find it this way than to go searching through all these menus. Just type middle, check this box, inverse middle mouse pan, and close this window. You don't need to save it. It saves it when you close the window. Now when you middle mouse pan, it's going to feel much more comfortable like what you were.
Godot and Unreal have the same generic navigate options for fly around mode. I love that. Thank you. Someone does it. Someone gets it. Right? Can we just please standardize motion controls?
Hoping it would do. And then right mouse all by itself pivots on the actual camera position. So as I'm right mouse clicking and moving my mouse, I'm not moving anywhere. I'm just rotating around that single position for my camera's point of view. So that is left, middle, and alt mouse all by themselves. Now for you Maya users, say for example you want to click a chair and hit F. F is the common hotkey for framing anytime in Unreal. If you alt left mouse, you can pivot around or tumble around the object that is in frame that you framed on. So that's pretty common workflow for anyone with Maya. If you are a Maya user, you're going to find Unreal nice and easy because it's a lot of stuff's very similar. Alt middle mouse does pan as well as expected. It's really no different than middle mouse without alt key held down. And then alt right mouse does what you would expect as far as zooming in and out with your camera view. So that is with the alt mouse for all of those options there. Now there's one other way to navigate around the viewport.
Industry standard.
If you're a gamer, you're familiar with WASD keys on the keyboard.
Which, as you can see, are not as intuitive as Blender controls. Yeah, right. You know what's funny? I've been using Blender for a lot of stuff recently, and when I go into GIMP, you click middle mouse button to pan just like this, right? But in Blender, it's control middle mouse button. And in GIMP, control middle mouse button is rotate the canvas. Yeah, it spins. And I'm like, no, stop it. I have to go down to the bottom and reset the angle to 0. Because if I try to put it back manually, it's always like 0.07 degrees off. It makes me so mad. Standardizations for movement controls. When? I don't care who sets the industry standard. It can be Maya. I don't give a fuck. The 5 key on numpad undoes it? Ooh. Interesting. Blender, please. It can be Blender. Let's make it Blender. That's my preference too. But I don't. If it has to be someone, then let's just pick one and make it everybody. Everything. Everything. Oh, my wife is going off to work now. Goodbye. Have a nice day at work.
Thank you.
Oh, husky voice, Lumi. Bye, wife.
Bye.
My wife went to bed. It is late, and for most people. But the other thing that fucks with me is timelines, right? So I have Ableton Live, which has multiple timelines for music creation. I have Shotcut, which has video editing timelines. And then I learned Blender has a video editing timeline as well. And they all use different controls. So at this point, I'm just going to learn Ableton Live's timeline controls and struggle through everyone. That'll never get a standard. Please. I don't care which one I use. Just make them all the same.
If you right mouse and hold and do WASD, you can get around your scene that way as well. If you're savvy working that way, then you'll be happy. So that's how you navigate around in the viewport. Let's talk about moving objects. So say I select the chair here, I get the manipulator for moving here. That's just your 3 axes. Up here is select, move, rotate, and scale. If you hover, you'll see the hotkeys are Q, W, E, and R. Again, similar to Maya. If I use the move tool, I can move things in a particular axis, or I can grab it from the center and move it. It can move things and your 3 axes. Up here is select, move, rotate, and scale. If you hover, you'll see the hotkeys are Q, W, E, and R. Again, similar to Maya. If I use the move tool, I can move things in a particular axis, or I can grab it from the center.
QWER makes 0 sense. Q, I've selected an object. W, I've done something. Move mode. Now you can move objects. I don't have any objects. Can I add an object? Quickly add to the object. Basic. Shape. Cube. That is a big ass cube. Oh wait, no, it's just a cube floating in the middle of the sky, of course. All right. Move. Mode. Rotate mode. And what's this? Oh, scale mode. Default everything is snapping mode. He's going to explain all that though. Oh, good. Yeah, I can see it snapping to some sort of grid. All right. We have created our sky cube. Let me, so F, what was it? F, Alt, R, no, F, Alt, L. There we go. Alt, left click allows me to rotate around the sky cube. You know what we got to do? Make the sky cube very large. You were very large. Bigger. Oh, do you see the shadow? The shadow of the cube, the sky cube.
And move it in arbitrary axes, or I can grab it on one of those little planes there that lets you move in just 2 axes at the same time. With the rotate tool, it's a little unique as far as a manipulator goes. You sometimes got to spin around to see which one is which, but that lets you do your rotations. And then scale is scaling. If you grab it from the middle, it's uniform scale. If you pull up and down on a particular axis, it's just that axis. Control Z to undo. And then if you were to hover right over that, it's kind of tough to see, but that little triangle spot there, then it's going to scale in just 2 axes at a time. One other handy button here before we get away from manipulators is this one here toggles between your world space and local space. For example, the rotate tool. Right now, the rotate tool is not oriented to the chair in particular. It's oriented to the world space. So down here is our world space little gizmo here to show us what way is X, Y, and Z. But if I want to rotate the chair relative to the chair, if I click this button, it switches the gizmo over to be in the chair's space. So I can tilt it forward directly on the axes of the chair. And then if I toggle that, it goes back to world space. Now you may have noticed that as I've been moving my objects around, they're a little steppy, right? So if I click, it kind of pops from A to B. Up here are your snap settings. So this is for snapping during moving, rotating, and scaling. These little blue buttons, that means they're enabled. The numbers next to them represent how much it's going to snap. So right now it's set to snap 10 units. If I switch, to 500, now it's only going to snap on increments of 500. And then if I don't want any snapping at all, I can just turn that off. And then it's nice and smooth. All right, so that's enough of looking around the viewer and moving objects for now. Let's look at some other parts of the interface. Here I have an outliner, which again is similar to other software you may be used to. Anything you have in this, what I'm going to very carefully call a level. I'm not going to say the word scene, even though I'm tempted to. From Maya's point of view, you would call this a scene. But in Unreal, this set of things that we're looking at in the viewport is referred to as a level, or also called a map. We'll get into that a little bit more, but they basically mean the same thing. So I got a table. Here's our table. I got a chair. Here's our chair, right? And then those are in this folder called static meshes, which are a little bit different than Maya. The folders in Unreal don't have any kind of transform attribute. It's just for organizing things. So it's just basically a folder like it is in Windows or a Mac. You can pick things from the outliner here, or you can pick them in the viewer itself, and then the eyeball icon will hide your object. And underneath the outliner are the details of that particular object. So if I pick the chair, I come down here, here's the transforms. This is telling me what mesh it's using. This is, you go a little bit more down, this is the material.
Praise the cube. Oh. Hello, Crendel. Check out that cube. It is very cubical. It's extremely cubical. Is that perfectly in line? Into the ground with you. Into the ground with you. It's beautiful and cube-like. Well, it's not perfectly cube-like, actually. I hate to burst your bubble, but this cube may not be a perfect cube, because we did do some weird manipulations with it. Whoa. Very trippy. That's the burnt. It's heretical. Hello, Crendel. Have you ever wait, no, you're New Zealander as well? So you've probably never heard of airheads. Actually, you know what? Down here, we've got scale details. We could make it a cube. There we go. Never heard of airheads? It's a candy. It's a type of candy. There we go. We've done it, boys. A perfectly cubical cube. Ooh. Excuse me? What did I do? I entered wireframe mode. I don't know how I did that. Airheads are great, but they eat your mouth. Do they? I don't think they did. This is now the cube rotation stream. That's all we're going to do. Also, hello, Silent. Good to see you. So they are sour candy. No, they're more like a taffy candy. They do have sour versions, but it's like taffy. 10 out of 10 stream. Cube rotation stream. Hello, Goma. Hello there. Sorry. Hello. The music actually kind of goes with rotating the cube. Why is that a thing? we just out here rotating our cube. What are we doing today? We're learning Unreal Engine is really what's happening. And the cube is all we've got so far. A very large cube. Extremely difficult large cube. Yes, Salim, did you know? Everybody's from New Zealand and Australia and India in the chat. It's me, an American in Germany, talking to people in New Zealand and Australia and India. Because I stream at the sleepy hours for Americans. Living the dream. I'm living in a dream. I'm living in a dream. The world is a dream. Life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. Sorry, I got distracted from rotating. I forgot the goal of this stream here. Oh, the song ended. Okay, rotation is done. Everybody go home. Rotation is done now. We're not rotating anymore. Azathoth would like to know my location. Who's Azathoth? Is that a World of Warcraft guy? Is he about rotating? Azathoth. The blind idiot god. Oh, it's Lovecraft, of course. A Realm of Chaos. I could be into that. The universe is his dream or something like that. I made a character like that in D&D once. I did a campaign where my characters were like baby demons. They'd all been like horrible people in real life, and then they died and went to the abyss, and they were all baby demons, and they got to grow up into like super powerful demons, and they fought demon lords, and they made their own lair in the abyss, and they tried to challenge Pazuzu, one of the ancient demons, which everybody just made Futurama jokes about, and they lost. They lost against the ancient demons. And they got to visit Ao, the or Ao, or whatever you want to call them, the all being, the all creator, the god of gods. And Ao was just like, yeah, you know, that world wasn't right for you guys. Here's your own multiverse to have a little fun in. And thus the evil edgy world was born. Gotta have lore reasons for your evil edgy world. That's what makes it not edgy. That's what makes it not stupidly edgy.
Material it's using. And right here, sometimes this will throw you off. These are little filters. So you'll notice it kind of stops when I get to the bottom here, but there's a ton more attributes in the details here. I just need to switch from general to all, and now it's going to show me all the details for a particular asset.
The details.
So this is a quick way to filter out just the little bits that you might need. You know, say you just need the LOD information on the chair, you can click on the LOD button, but then everything else is hidden. So again, if you need everything back, just hit all. Also, it's really handy to use the search. For example, hit LOD, and then you'll see anything that has to do with LOD as well.
What's LOD? LOD. Level of development? Level of detail. Wow, well, this is a great time to talk about today's stream sponsor, High Definition. Did you know that high definition is still relevant? I mean, they're telling me it's still relevant, so it must be still relevant. Everybody's saying it. Oh, check out this high definition stuff. People love it. It makes the people happy. So high definition, check them out. Check out high definition stuff. Although really nothing is HD anymore, right? Now everything is like 1080 or 4K or 8K. The further away it is, the lower in texture quality or model quality it gets, you know. You know, that is quite smart. That sounds like something smart people would do. I approve. Halad. So if we include it in the high level of detail, it'll stay highly detailed no matter how far away we get. But if we take, like, say, this thing, get out of here, high level of detail. Does that change something? The further away we get? How do we zoom super fast? Now let me select the cube again. I don't know what I'm doing.
Back to the idea of this content.
Thank you for the information, Salam. It's much appreciated. We're learning together.
Browser that I hid. If I click,
It's been an hour and a half, and I'm 8 minutes into this hour-long tutorial.
on this button that says content drawer, what's in the
content drawer? Oh my.
Content drawer is everything that is in your project. You can think of it as a library that you could use in various levels. We started this template with starter content. So here in the starter content folder, I have some blueprints, HDRI, some audio even, and some props. This one's probably the easiest to start with. If we go in the props folder.
Oh, here's chair.
Here's the chair, here's a couch, here's a lamp. These are all the things that you could put into your level. For example, let's put another chair in. The way you get a
I have a fair bit of knowledge of UE5 as well as some friends who know more. That's cool. I'm always appreciative of finding people who know what they're talking about. Always.
Chair in your level is you just drag and drop. And now I have another chair.
Can we put a chair? Drag. And drop. Video memory has been exhausted. Expect extremely poor performance. It's preparing my shaders. So this is, you know, a problem. Are we even going to be able to do anything with this? Okay. We are over the thing now. Let's disable snapping, as he said, and just set that chair right there. This is, yeah. Expect extremely poor performance, huh? Two objects, and we are on poor performance. That is not good. That is not a good sign. But we've added a chair to the cube. It's a perfectly reasonable sized cube. It's probably more because of streaming at the same time. That's unfortunate. Now, here's something that buying a console won't fix, sadly. We've got to think about this. I say, I'm just going to go convince myself that everything's okay. Graphics card. Yes. What's the best graphics card? AMD. Those aren't terrible. What's the best graphics card? This one, 7,000. It's the one they're hyping. You have to scroll down so far to get the... It doesn't even say the price. Products. Graphics. So this is the best one. Oh my God, it's got 3 fans. 3 fans. But it doesn't tell you how much it costs. Let's just search for this. Is it worth it? Price. $917. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you'll be able to click that cog in the top right corner. Some scalability settings that I can change. Project settings. Engine scalability. Ah. Let's just do medium. Hey. Monitor editor performance, please. Thank you, Cylon. Now look. The warning message went away. That's all I wanted, really. Can we? Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. You can't even see the chair anymore, but it's there. You know it's there. That's nice. I'm glad you can scale things down. Otherwise, this wouldn't work.
My level. Now you'll notice the content drawer went back away. So that is a feature in Unreal 5. If you're coming from 4, that's going to be a little different. So if you click on the content drawer, it pops it up temporarily, but as soon as you click away, it goes back hidden, which is handy if you want a lot of screen space. But for learning purposes, we want this up quite a bit. So I'm going to click on the content drawer. If you come way over here, you'll see there's an option to dock in layout. So I highly recommend you click that button. And then now that becomes a permanent panel, and it actually renames to content browser. The content drawer is technically still down here as well, and it'll be there in all your
Content
windows.
drawer sucks.
But for now, we want the content browser permanently up so that we can browse through and find
Well,
things
I've got
to put
content
into our
browser.
levels. So say you want a couch, you can throw a couch in a level. If you want to zero out the
Architecture.
position of the couch, say you wanted
Props.
it world 000, you'll come over here to the details for the couch. You can hand type 000,
Oh.
which totally works. Or let's delete this couch and bring in another couch, and I'll put it somewhere arbitrary. A quick way to do that as well is you'll see there's this little icon. Any value that's not at its default, you can click this little guy, and that'll pop it back to the default. So that set that to 000. So this is your
Content browser.
content browser. We'll spend most of our time bringing in assets and importing and managing project here in the content browser. Now there are some things that are built into the engine itself that you don't need to bring into the project. So again, all these things here are things that you're bringing into the project. But if you go up here to this little box with a plus and click on that, you'll see there are some other built-in assets. For example, lights. You have all your light types here, cinematics for your camera and camera tools, visual effects, volumes, and a few things that are, again, just built into the engine, like other software has primitive shapes and lights. This is handy, again, that it hides when you're not using it. But for our purposes for learning, let's go ahead and click on this and choose the option Place Actors Panel. That will take most of what's in this drop-down and permanently put it in this little Place Actors tab. And you can now click through this little light icon, shows you the light section. This slate shows you the camera options and such. So I'm going to go back to the light tab here, and I'm going to pull in a point light. So similar to getting things out of the content browser, to get things out of this tab, out of the engine, just drag into your scene. That puts a point light in the scene. You'll see it's now part of the outliner because it's part of this level. And your attributes for it show up here in the details tab. If you scroll down, you'll see here's your intensity. All right, so you can boost that up and change your light color, all the things you would kind of think you could do. You can do here. If you want to get rid of something, just select it and delete it. And now it's gone.
Hold on. Intensity. Meow. Very intense light. Can we change? We can change the light color. Wunderbar. Now it's an evil chair. Evil chair. Now it's a cool chair. Now it's a poisonous chair. Now it's a funky chair. Now it's a bright chair. Now it's a girl chair. It's a girl chair. Ah, yes. And now it's a gamer chair. Whoa! Gamer chair located. We found the gamer chair. Ah, that's silly, but I love it somehow. Just revert back to your default. Attenuation radius. Oh, I see. Yeah, large is fine. Source radius. Seems fine. Soft source radius. That's cool. Use temperature. Temperature. Cool or warm. Nice. Cast shadows. Now that just looks weird. Wait, can we now it's just like an aura. It's an aura that the chair has. This is a very this is a very funky chair. It's got a funky aura. Did you know? Volumetric scattering.
So that's how you add stuff from the Place Actors panel. Now, one definition to get over early is the word actors. In Unreal, actors applies to things that are not just characters. Generally, coming from VFX or animation, when you hear the word actor, you might think a character of some kind or something at least rigged.
Right.
Nope. In Unreal, basically anything is an actor. Over here, you'll see your floor is an actor. It's a static mesh actor. If I bring in a camera, this is an actor. You'll see it says Cinecamera actor. So you can kind of almost, not in every case, but you can generalize the word actor to mean anything. Just something to keep in mind. For a moment, let's talk about that idea of levels and maps. So right now, as we look in this little setup here, this is called the minimal default map or level. Again, just get over the fact that they mean the same thing. If I go up to File, New Level, and for cinematics that we're making, we're not dealing with games, so we're going to stay away from these options for a moment. We're going to go all the way here to Empty Level, and we're going to create it. Because we made changes to the minimal default level, again, which is this out here, it's asking us, do we want to save those changes? Yes, we do, because I took a lot of effort to put that couch in there. So I'm going to say yes, save those changes.
Now okay, where do I save it to? Name? Cube contemplation. Oh, it can't contain spaces. Okay. Now we have our world. Our default blank world.
With a brand new untitled note up here on the left, this is always going to tell you what level you have open.
Untitled.
It's untitled. We haven't saved it yet, but it's a blank new level. The outliner is completely empty, and now it's a empty palette for us to throw anything into. For example, let's go and while we're on the chair mode, let's throw a chair into our empty level. And I'm going to come down here to the attributes in the details panel for the chair, and I'm going to zero that out just to set it at 0, 0, 0. I'm going to click F to frame it, and there's our chair. Now, one thing that's a little unique here, and I'm not sure if it's a bug or a feature, but when you drag this in here, technically the only thing in this level right now is a chair. There's not even any light. Up here where it says lit, if you switch that to unlit so you can see the texture preview, but then you switch back to lit, which should show you the interaction with lights, it will be all black.
Wait, where'd my chair go? Oh, there you are. Sweet chair, don't leave me. It's quite a okay. That looks better. It looked a little big, didn't it? The void. The void. Wireframe me. Unlit. Lit.
Now this is actually what it should look like from the beginning. I don't know if they give you like a little starter light in the beginning just so you can see where you placed it, but technically it should look like this. There should be nothing in there until you, I'm going to drag in a point light, until you bring a light in your scene.
All we've done so far today is light up chairs. And I'm not opposed to this.
Now the light will interact with the chair and you'll be able to see it. This over here represents what is in our current level. And again, yes, the level currently is not saved. So let's go to File, Save Current Level. And it wants to keep it somewhere in your content folder. So I'm going to make a new folder right here. I'm going to right click, say New Folder. I'm going to call it My Maps. You can call it whatever you want, but I'll just call it My Map so I know this is one that I made. I'm going to go into there. Down here where it says New Map, it's just going to be the name. I'm going to call it the Chair and Light and save that. So notice up here in the upper left, it's saved my new level called Chair and Light. And this is the contents of my level. And if you go down and look in your content browser now, you'll see you have your My Maps folder. And here's the icon for a level, again, or map. Notice if you look down, I can't point to it because my mouse is hovered over it, but if you look down in that list of pop-up attributes, you'll see that says primary asset type is a map. Then at the top of that list, it says Chair and Light level in parentheses. Again, they are the same thing. That's probably the last time I'll mention it, but just it's worth overemphasizing at the very beginning that the word level and the word map mean the same thing in Unreal. So that's great. We made our own map, and maybe we want to go back to our other map. So where was that other map we started with? If you go into the starter content folder, in that folder there is a maps folder, and here you'll see it looks like 6 maps, but technically there's only 3 because each of these data files kind of go with the actual map. So look for the one with mountains. Those are your map types. And minimal default, that's the one we started with. So let's double click to reopen that map. You can only have one map open at a time. So double click it and it's going to open up the other map that we started with.
Hey,
if you want to go back to your chair map, you can come over here, go back to your My Maps folder, double click, and switch back.
All right, it's preparing shaders right now, which means I guess we can. Let's see if I can find this. Beep 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 boo doo doo beep beep doo 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 ba da da doo 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 doo. Can I I want to move cube contemplation. Move here. Can I move both of them? Move here. Yeah. All right. Cube contemplation is now in the My Maps folder. Look at that. Cube contemplation. Oh, you can't even see it. Blue's in the way. We are looking at the thing. Oh. Hold up. There are quite a few gizmo things here. There's an audio source, exponential height fog, sky atmosphere, volumetric clouds, light source, skylight, starter background cue, ambient sound, player start, table, statue, chair, flow, also flow. She came from
For that map. If you ever are unsure where to find a map, say you lost it, like where did my map go? Just go all the way up to your content level, select this little filter button, and say just show me all the levels or maps anywhere downstream from the content folder, and this will show you here's the three that were together: the starter map, minimal default, and advanced lighting in the starter content folder, and then here's our chair and light. If you need to know exactly where it is, just hover over it and it'll give you a path. But otherwise, you can just double click from here to load any of those maps as well.
All right.
And then just remember to turn off your filter when you're done using it, because sometimes you'll wonder where everything went, and it's just because you have a filter still turned on. So while this is a fairly exciting scene, for our short film, I think it's a little limited. So let's talk about how to get some free content from the Epic Marketplace to be able to build your short film. So let's pop over to the launcher and go to the Marketplace tab in your launcher.
Give me a second.
And let's go straight to...
Stop. I have to turn on Epic Games. Okay. Epic Games Launcher. Yes, that's fine. Marketplace.
The free option here. And
free option.
We want to select that, then come over to the search tags and choose environments. And here's a bunch of different environments you could use. Now, for example, here's a nice bistro, and here's a nice Northwood abandoned mine, I guess.
That's so cool.
So come over here to the search field and type the word Assetville, because this is a pretty extensive set, but it's also very lightweight. It's very Roblox. You know, it's not very high resolution, but it is kind of a fun, there's a lot of little vignettes, and it's just a fun place to start with for practicing. So what you need to do when you go to Assetville here is you need to kind of buy it. You'll see there's an option, add to cart or something like that. When you
Can I search for this? Oh, Assetsville. Assetsville. No content found. Oh, search products. Assetsville. Oh, there's a few of them. Town, motorcycles, hospital, Four Seasons Nature Pack. Nice. All right.
you get there, it's like buying it, but it's free, so it's no big deal. So go ahead and do that. When you're done with your purchase, you can come back here and choose Add to Project. And then you can find your short and add to project.
Have I purchased? Have I purchased it? Add to project. Huh? Asset not compatible with version 5.4. No. asset not compatible with version 5.4. Uh-oh. Can we sort comments by most recent? Yes. Newest first. Uh-huh. Oh, wait. No, it does say it's... The selected asset is not compatible with Unreal Engine 5.4 projects. What? But it says compatible with Unreal Engine 5.4. Don't add. Okay. What?
And that's going to add that content into your project. So if I minimize this, you'll see there is now a folder in your content browser called Assetville Town. So let's explore town a bit. Generally, when you grab...
Okay. Let's go back to the Epic. Add to project. No compatible. Minimal. Show all projects. No compatible user projects found. Uh-huh. Reviews. Newest first. G. Very good asset. Cool. Wow. Love the style. This is unavailable. What the heck? Supported engine versions. Oh, it only goes up to 5.3. Add to projects. Now I have to wait. It's not compatible with 5.4. They haven't updated it. No. What's the difference? Okay. Well, did it work? I guess it worked. Assetville Town. Yeah, look, there's stuff in here. Does it work? My God, it works. Okay. All right. I guess it works. We had to set the project to 5.3. This is hurting my head. But we're still in 5.4. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
some sort of asset pack like that, you want to look for their maps folder, because that's how you're going to load the level so that you can interact with it. So let's go into the maps folder for Assetville Town. And there's a demonstration map. That's kind of the layout that they chose as an example city. We'll land on that eventually. Let me just jump into the overview map because there's usually an overview as well. An overview often is just a inventory of all the things that come with that map without any particular layout, right? So here we have a bunch of the floors you can use. Here's a bunch of the...
Switching versions isn't easy when you already have the project made. Right? What the heck? What the heck? Well, it's loading the overview right now. So why don't we just watch this guy for a second?
Cars that you can use. So this is more of a go shopping kind of list, and just to be able to see what you could build by hand. But in our case, we want to just load the demonstration map so we don't have to build anything by hand. You can still modify the demonstration as much as you want. If you want to move this sheriff.
Can I just stop this? Can I do anything? Not responding? Unreal Editor? No, it's responding all right. It's just using 80% of my CPU. Let's try end test. Oh, now you can see the launcher. I see. Wait, why? Open up Unreal Engine. Open up Unreal Engine. Just always load last project on startup. Please. And now it's going to think a lot about what needs to be done. Oh, wait, that's going pretty quickly. Every time I've opened this, it takes forever to open. What's the deal? Open the demonstration level, please. Okay, now it's going way fast. We must have had a crash or something. Something happened. And now I need to... Unreal Editor? Where are you? U5 is resource hungry. That's why I don't stream making games. Good to know. Wait, why is that it? Okay, well, we're back in. And we did it. Look. Look, we did it. Let's see. Right click and WAS. America. Look at these assholes. Why are they FBI? No, that's FIB. Sorry. FIB, of course. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Yo, look how cute. That's so nice. Oh, there's a baseball field. That's how you know it's America. And there's a church. She's so sassy. Oh boy. I'm not allowed in churches. Monsters are generally not allowed in churches. The gun store. Yep. That's how you know it's America. Licenses. Driving, fishing, and weapons licenses. Incredible. Did the music stop again? The music did not stop. It's just one of those weird blank spaces. Interstate 4. Yes, I like this. This is great. Look at these guys. They're selling cars. We need food. The J&J Warehouse Company. Oh my God. I'm getting flashbacks to when I worked in a warehouse. Faux rent. Natch. What do we got? American Bank. That's how you know it's America. There's an American bank with a briefcase full of money, just sitting out, ready to be moneyed. The vault. The other vault. We saw the sheriff. Oh, a motel, grill, and barbecue. Yeah, where's the restaurant? All right, I liked enough. Good night, but thank you so much for hanging out. Good convos. Always love talking about D&D. Get some sleep. Have a good one. I hope you got some good Godot work done. It's a motel, but it's not nearly seedy enough. Yeah, like this is perfect. Can we like always ever always do this? But where's the restaurant? Where's the barbecue restaurant? Here's Don's Donuts. Look at all them donuts. Low poly donuts, ice cream. A sassy lady who will serve you your donuts. Of course, they have a giant donut on top. That's how you know their donuts are. Where's all the restaurant? You can't have just a donut shop. Fruit market. Fresh and healthy fruits, fresh and fit fruits, vegetables. Where's the restaurants? A liquor store. More important than restaurants, honestly. Got to keep the people lubricated. And there's a farm. And there's a gas station right down the road from the other gas station. Not great, honestly. What is happening here? Auto service repair shop. We love that. For sale. You know, oh man, this is like classic American, right? You live in a rundown little shack. You hardly have any furniture. You have a barn. And in the barn, you have the most expensive thing you own, which is a car. Extremely American mentality. Greenville, New Valley. I don't know why I pushed spacebar like I was expecting to jump. Look at these presumptuous men and sassy women. Everyone's eyebrows are so tilted. I love this place. Wow. Somebody put a lot of work into this, and I super appreciate them. Market. Yes, now we can make our convenience store horror game. Now we can make our convenience store horror game. Finally. It's kind of beautiful. Small town USA. There's a hearse. Lovely. A dude who defines himself by his car. Also a dude who defines himself by his car, but in more of like a my car is my job kind of way. Got some mountains in the background. Don't ask where the road goes. We don't walk into the void.
Car, you can move it over there and such, so you can still modify anything that's in a particular map. It just gives you a good starting point. So take a minute to poke around here. You can just, again, hit F to move closer. I like to alt click myself to pan around, but again, left mouse all by itself, you can kind of walk around town, see what they got around here. So again, take a minute to kind of look around, explore. So we've loaded our location, our environment, and now we're ready to start putting in characters that we want to animate, and then we'll get some cameras in there and make some shots.
Okay. I hate to say it because this is a lot of fun, but I kind of just want to explore this area. Ah, so you've got different color lights for the neon stuff. That's super smart. This is where the killing happens. This is where you knife block. So, see, you can move things around. Don't put your knives so close to the sink. Very not good. Look how cool this is. A guitar. I guess this is a good way to learn the controls too. Guitar. We are now the spinning guitar stream. Once again, the music seems to match perfectly. Just ignore what's happening on screen. Yikes. Yeah, I don't think you're meant to go into the level geometry like that. So here's a question. Skylight. What are our options for skylight? No, that doesn't do it. Sky sphere. Like, how do I change the time of day? Can I change the time of day? Directional light? Let's see. There are a ton of stuff in here. Spotlights, traffic lights, skylight. Lots of materials. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to just let me click on a button and make it nighttime. The directional light source, maybe? Directional light. Yeah, here we go. Rotate it. Oh, that's better. I see. I see. You can then go to the sky sphere and hit refresh, and I think it will change to stars. Really? Sky sphere? Refresh? Refresh material. Oh, yeah. Actually, that kind of worked. Sailor Yumi Cakes. Hello. Hi, how have you been? I'm good. You're a first time chatter here. Welcome. Thank you for the first time chat. The more you rotate, the more dark it gets. Ah. Give me a directional light. No, that's not right. What if we just want like 360 degrees? 180 degrees. Uh, 360 degrees equals 24 hours. I mean, that's pretty cool. So now 180 degrees, right? Then let's go to the sky sphere and refresh material. That didn't work. Skylight, maybe. 180 degrees? No? Okay. Ah, there we go. Stars. There's just still a lot of lights, isn't there? In this part of town. Maybe if we got to the outskirts of town, there'd be less light. Oh, wait. No, 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 no. There we go. Turn off all lights. Might be able to turn down the intensity of the directional light. I see. It's not that intense. Oh, but that makes a big difference, actually. Well, but unlit. That's not what we want, right? We want to see the lit scene. This scene just has tons of lights in it. Well, that's what I'm saying. If we go out here in the woods, it should be quite dark, right? So let's find all the lights. So we have the directional light. We got some neon lights. Skylight. Can we can we change this? That's wild. If you select an item outline, move the cursor to the editor window and press F, it jumps to it. Would that help us find the light? Tons of spotlights, lots of traffic lights. Yeah, okay. So that makes these spotlights are making sense. Right? Like it makes sense for that to be a light. Right? This scene does have a ton of lights in it. So we've got a few point lights. We've got a lot of. What is this? Okay, the light mass portal is a. Oh, that's like the whole thing, huh? And then we've got some traffic lights, 3 traffic lights. What, why? Why is the traffic light lit up like that? Oh no, it's just the mesh. The mesh, of course. Okay. So really, we're looking at directional light. Which is here in the center. Is that right? Uh, lighting only. There's just a lot of light in this scene. Okay, let's undo a few things. Okay. Directional light. Oh, hey, Lustra. Hello. Hello again. Lustra demands entertainment. We are just exploring this little world here in Unreal Engine. What do you think? Is it cool? We can change the day-night cycle. Look at that. Yeah, I guess that's as dark as it gets at night, but that's okay. Sup? Sup? Welcome. Sup? Sup? It is pretty cool. Would you like to see the most scandalous thing in this town? So this is the county sheriff's office, and as you can see, there's the FIB, not the FBI, the FIB, hanging out of the sheriff's office. Why are they hanging out of the sheriff's office? Well, we go back down the roads and alleyways, we can see that they're doing an investigation. This lady is getting questioned by the police. Why? What secrets hide in her home? Secret brothel? I mean, that was my first thought too. Like, oh, they fucking, you know. Oh, they fucking. But as we can see, her house is unusual because it has no basement. Much like many houses in this area. But it has an upstairs. We can go upstairs. What dark secrets do you hold? Trophies. Basketball? Wait, this is a kid's room, right? Where's the master bedroom? Oh, look at that. We found the husband. Who could he be? Let's go search for the husband, shall we? There he is. He's vegetables. He's the owner of the fruit market since 1956. Look at him. Demanding. Look, they spilled some vegetables. Demanding those vegetables. Get in that store. But what? What secrets does the store hide? And why are the FIB here hanging out behind the store too? Oh my gosh. And this police officer is yelling at these ladies. Why is he yelling at these ladies? It's clear to me. Perfectly clear. It's a secret brothel. That's what it has to be, right? They're investigating a prostitution ring. And vegetables are their cover story. But you know who's the real mastermind? This guy. You know how I know he's the mastermind? This is where he lives. Pretty average, low down place, but he's able to afford this. Just make sex work easy, legal. Sorry, just make sex work easy. Yeah. Just make sex work legal and then you have no job to do easy. I know. They're really putting the cart before the horse. They're like, we have to stop sex work, but you could just not. You could just let people do things. Oh my God. And look, here we see what the hell is this? A dude with a ton of guns and ammo. It's the same dude. Oh, you know he's in some deep shit now. Look, he's got money. He's got a sniper rifle. He's hanging out at the seedy motel. Who is he actually going to anything else juicy happening at this motel? No. There is a room that's decorated differently than the others. Oh, and there's a picture of the bank. A picture of the bank. No, wait, it's in every room. Wait, is that why this guy is in here? Is there a picture of the bank in this room? Yes. He's trying to get intel on how this bank is going to be robbed. Ooh. Little does he know, though. They don't actually have anything in these safe deposit boxes. Kind of sad. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look, you're telling me you put your safe on the other side of just a wall? Farmers do make a lot of money in some countries. That's true. What's up here? A penthouse apartment? Wild. All this space for one person? How do you get in here? That's totally like the owner of the bank. Right. Penthouse suite. Right above the bank. Can we find him? There was a picture in here. There he is. He looks angry. No, he looks suspicious, just like everybody else in this town. They're all suspicious of what? Of the sex work that's going on. And who's this? That's not the guy. Oh. A bed for two. A picture of a random guy. Yes, there's some relationship going on here. Can we find the guy? Wait, is it that guy? Is it that guy behind the behind the vegetable shop? No, this guy's a mustache. We have to find the guy in the picture. Here he is. He works the front desk of the sheriff's office. And he's in love. He's in love with the bank owner. The bank owner who's about to get robbed by the prostitution ring owner, who's running the prostitution ring that's working at the vegetable shop across the street. My God. It's all connected. This guy sells drugs. These guys embezzle money. This lady doesn't pay her taxes. This entire town is deep in it. There's no job offers because everybody's already got a job. Even the priest runs some illegal underground hair removal serum scams. Anyway, like hair growth serum. Of course. The whole town's deep in it. Everybody's in on it. Everybody. So anyway, that's what I've been doing for the past hour. Just investigating the traumas and horrors of small town USA. There's a 50 style diner around the corner from my house that I'm certain is a front for money laundering. That's what I have a German friend who constantly says that. Like we walked past a store and it was a basket weaving shop. Basket weaving. A shop for basket weaving. You go there and you weave baskets. And they have a big basket weaving thing in the front of the building. And he's like, this is a drug front. This is money laundering. There's no way you could stay in business with a basket weaving store. There's no way. In Berlin, no way. Absolutely not. Well, we actually managed to get 20 minutes into this video. The video. We actually managed to get 20 minutes through the hour-long tutorial. And my God, so much work has been done for us. But then again, my neighbors are legitimate human traffickers that my city council refuses to do anything about. That is extremely frustrating when you know that people are doing illegal stuff and nobody does anything about it. Right? It's just a little balcony. They're not incentivized to stop them, probably because they're getting like paid off by them, you know. They can't not make them money. So I think the reason why everything is so light, even when it shouldn't be, is because a lot of these point lights are can I select multiple things at once? All the spotlights. All 85 of the spotlights. You'd think there would be more. Oh, it's because the point lights are also selected. I just want the spotlights. No, it still gives you very limited objects. 85 selected. Yeah, I actually said that they have no paperwork. They all work at the exact same time, leaving the same car, and cram 14 people in the 1-2-bedroom apartment. It's not even like I live in a nice or good city. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I live in the second most dangerous city in all of Europe, including active war zones. Oh. In Europe, huh? I have no idea what that would be. What's most dangerous cities in the world? Coventry? Oh, in England. It became a UK city of culture. Well, there's quite a lot to read about. Just the other day, you saw someone get stabbed, call the police and ambulance. That's like the joke in London, right? Dang. Well, I'm glad you're okay. There's that's some very, very scary things to happen. Coventry is significantly worse than London. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, um, so when I was living in the United States, I lived in Ohio, and if you're not from Ohio, you probably know about Cincinnati, but you probably know that Cleveland is like the shithole of Ohio, right? Shitty of Cleveland, oh ho ho, Cleveland. But if you're from Ohio, you know Cleveland's not that bad compared to Toledo. Cleveland is mega racist. Cleveland is not a great city, but it is nothing compared to Toledo. Toledo is the true shithole of Ohio. Nothing against all the Toledo fans. If you're from Toledo, you're one of the good ones. Like, how do I say, like, let's go to this light. Like, see, this light it's got to be like, these controls. Wild. Yeah, it's like the light is leaking out. It's what Toledo is to Money, Mississippi. I don't know that reference. Talatio? Talatio. Oh, Toledo. Toledo. The city you said. It's okay. It's okay. It's spelled like that. It's another one of those Money, Mississippi, a town in Money, Mississippi. I'm a bit tipsy. Don't tell us, just she will be disappointed in me. Huh. The novel The Trees by Percival Everett is set in Money and depicts a mysterious series of murders that seem to follow identical patterns and involve the families of the confessed murderers of Emmett Till. Emmett Till. Why do I know that name? Oh, shit. That's the kid who was lynched. Emmett Till is actually a fucked up case. Yeah, I think I've read about this. Fucking absolutely ridiculous. Gross. Gross. Coventry is significant. It's like, dang. Well, so I'm speaking from my own experience here, but when I moved out of the United States and into Germany, like Germany is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but my God, is it better than the US? When I was able to finally save up enough money and move out, Germany has Met though, so all is good. I haven't had Met yet. It's on the list. Met Bra is so fucking good. It's on the list. We'll see. We'll see. I gotta find a festival or something where they serve it. Because I know if I go find my own Met, I will fuck it up and get super sick or something. Flying around at the speed of sound. Regulation is super strict, so getting it from anywhere is safe. Somehow I feel like I would still fuck it up. I do believe you. Oh, what is this? Just a little foyer that leads to an apartment. Oh, this is cute. I'm thinking about how I can put things into videos. Oh, look at this. That's the lady and the guy. It's raw. I don't think you can fuck it up. Everybody's connected in this sound. It'd be like fucking up steak tartare. Well, I mean, but you could let it go bad, right? Like, you can't fuck up steak tartare, but you can just not do it. You can not eat it quick enough. Yeah, it's something to try. It's summertime here, so there are tons of festivals around Berlin. I'm sure I will try it soon. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but just living in a place where you don't have to like worry about that sort of stuff, like shootings or stabbings or whatever, it just does wonders for your mental health. Speaking from experience. Wow. Somebody tell the Zarkon I managed to do a half hour of talking and an hour of talking today at the beginning and end of the stream. Incredible. Why don't we just go to just chatting? To the water cooler. And honestly, I talked about this early on. I appreciate the raid Lustra, but we're probably going to end soon because today was, well, yesterday really was just so exhausting. Recommending a lot of art people to me to raid. I'm originally Norwegian. Norway is a safe country. I was just put into witness protection because of what my father did, so I miss out on living in Norway. That sucks. That is awful. I'm going to save Assetville, which is what it's called. And we're going to find someone to raid. Get out of here. Epic Games Launcher. Yeah, I had to download Epic Games Launcher. Orphan moment. I've been very, very fortunate to have a decent family. Like, my dad is not a great person, but he's not like a murderer, which is nice. I guess my parents did get divorced, but I was old enough when it happened that it didn't affect me all that much. Mine is LMFAO. I'm sorry to hear that. I wish people had more Sasuke'd me for real. I wish people had more control over their living situations. You know? Like you're either expected to move out and then your parents kind of disown you. I mean, they can support you or they can disown you. Like that's if you're expected to move out, that's the good and bad side. But if you're expected to stay in your parents' house, like if it's a generational household and you're just kind of expected to stay, you don't have any like escape route, right? The phrase blood is thicker than water, or at least the true meaning of that phrase. Ah, yes, the Zarkon taught me this. I'm going to shout out the Zarkon because I keep talking about him. The blood of the womb, no, the blood of the battlefield is thicker than the water of the womb, or something like that. The blood of brotherhood, or something like that. Like, truly, it's about how found family is better. And I think that is just the truth. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Thank you. And it's true. Now, I do happen to like some members of my family. Like, you know, I've been afforded the privilege of making the distinction between family members I talk to regularly and family members I can just kind of ignore, right? Or even like, I have siblings and, you know, we just send each other memes and stuff we remember from our childhood. It's not like a deep relationship. However, my mom and I are super close. She's really cool, and we talk regularly, once a month, every month. So it is a very cool and important relationship to me. Meanwhile, I talk to my dad when I remember, which I usually don't. That is to say, family that you choose is more important than the family bonds you're born into. True. You need a good necromancer for that. Well, and that's the thing, right? I'm privileged to have these options. Not everybody is. And it's important to recognize that. So for instance, my wife grew up in a very bad household, and she's still reconciling the fact that her mom, her biological mom, is not a good person. Not at all. So this past Mother's Day, she made an effort to reach out to the people who have actually been mother figures in her life. And it was really nice. And she still feels kind of guilty that these other relationships are stronger than the one with her biological mother. And I'm like, goodness of a person is a fickle concept at best. It's true. But yeah, when someone has hurt you personally, right? It doesn't matter how goodness or badness they are. From your perspective, you don't have to associate with them. You don't have to like them. You don't have to be a part of their life. I know there are people out there, especially my very first college roommate. My very first college roommate who was a literal clown. My first college roommate was a literal clown. I know he doesn't like me. I know that he's out there thinking, oh, that guy Isaac, what an asshole. Now, do I think I'm an asshole? No, I think I've changed a lot since then. I did kind of date his girlfriend right after they broke up. So maybe a little bit of an asshole back then, but he was a literal clown. Like, he juggled and made balloon animals and rode unicycles and a literal clown. Anyway, we should probably wrap this up. The distinction between good and evil are entirely based on what your own morality says. True. angels and devils being cut from the same cloth and all that, just a different perspective. Yeah, they're all very strict celestials, right? We were talking about D&D earlier. Who am I rating? Can we raid? Yeah. We're gonna raid Giraffe Steve. Giraffe Steve, who's doing some questionable stuff right now. A wrestling stream. Lovely. Well, to all you out there in the audience, I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good life. I hope life gets better for you. I hope that Assetville, your own little Assetville you get to build your own little Assetville for you and your friends. But for now, we're going to wrap things up and raid Giraffe Steve, who's doing pro wrestling stuff. I don't know anything about pro wrestling, but I do know that it's like VTubing. That's all. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. My name is Isaac Anzu, the best boss you'll never have. We're off to Giraffe Steve. If you're still in chat, copy that raid message. Let's get out there. Let's go. And to all you heading to bed, good night, sleep tight, and don't let those bitcoins bite. I'll catch you next time. Farewell.